Don't be bored. We're going to do something different.
What's new in retro games? Can you tell me what's new in retro games, please? What's new in retro games? Can you tell me what's new in retro games this week?
Hello, it is me, Jace at Retrogames. And today we are going to do something a bit different, something I've been thinking about, something we possibly should have been doing before now, and that is we're going to take a look at this week's new additions to the website. Yeah! Because obviously we're doing the unboxing and everyone is, well, so a few of you enjoying the unboxing, but that kind of stuff could have been listed ages ago, it could be listed in the future, it's not relevant to right now. So let me tell you the date. It is Friday the 10th of June. We are going to do just a bit of talking, a bit of showing some of the new stuff that's hit the website this week. Now for those, as this is the first one, I'm not saying I'm going to do this every week, but it would be good when we get a nice lot of stuff in if I just did a little presentation of some of the things I really liked that got added to the site. I'm going to say this is how many items got added to the site this week. Bing! Clever that, wasn't it? It's because I don't know off the top of my head, because I'm not the one who's been doing all the listing this week. So I've picked some things, but I'm not going to do this necessarily every week, just when I find stuff exciting, and you know, give you the opportunity, because the Retrogames website generally only has one of everything comes into stock. We buy and sell old video games. The site was established in 1998. Yes, it's that old. It is older than Google, and I think you might have heard of that. And we've been selling and buying video games on there ever since. And yes, the site is looking a bit dated and is a bit old-fashioned, but the amount of furore I would get if I tried to change anything, my old retro gaming friends, they want it exactly the same as it always is. And that's how it's going to be. Anyway, oh, am I rambling? I'm rambling. As this is the first one, we'll let it go. But I'll be more succinct, more dynamic, more fast, and more just going through things in future videos in this series. And this series is called, what are we going to call it? What's new in retro games this week? Okay, let's start with the first thing. And the first thing I'm going to pick out is hardware. Some of these things will have post-it notes on, just from us when we're processing them. These don't usually stay on the item when it gets sent out to our customers. And this is a Halo 3 controller. Very lovely colour. I wonder what colour you would say that is. Well, it's green. It's a sort of army green. And I thought when I saw this that this was the wrong battery cover, but it actually did come with a black battery cover. It's the Halo 3 Xbox 360 controller. That was a bit of a boring start, but I picked this stuff, so you have to blame me if you think this stuff's boring. Now let's pick up something different. Now this is the Guild of Thieves. This is a game by Magnetic Scrolls. They're up there as one of the greatest creators of adventure games for all 8-bit formats, with level 9 Magnetic Scrolls. They're the kings of adventure gaming. Most people think. Well, Guild of Thieves, the reason that this game is kind of exciting is because it's for the Amstrad PCW. Yes, the Amstrad PCW, which was, by all means, it was a word processor more than a computer. It was built to go in offices, but there was games released for it, yeah. It's on 3.5-inch disc, a bit of a label crease there, but incredibly rare game for the Amstrad PC, and not many people collect Amstrad PCW, but that means it's even rarer because people just didn't realise that this stuff came out, and it did. Moving on, right, this is something heavy, It's a bit like unboxing, it's like unboxing, but no box. Where is the box? Where is the box? Please, stop with the catchphrases. Now this is an interesting set. This is for the BBC Model B user guide, but it's not your normal manual. This manual comes in two halves, part 1 and part 2, with ring bound binders, and I just thought, wow, And look, this one's got, it's got an introductory utilities disc, and I know that that looks like it's on a BASF disc, but it is an Acorn label, so I think that is how it was sent out. So yeah, I mean, who's going to read all this? This is one hell of a guide in 2 halves for the BBC. I just thought, wow, I don't remember seeing that before. Put it in a nice plastic bag, but now I've got to try and get it back in. So all these items on the site this week. If you go to the newly listed page or new arrivals on the front page, all this stuff, all our items that we've newly listed are in one place. I'll put the link in the description. Tell your friends, subscribe, like us, please like us. Okay, let's move on. We've got a PlayStation game, and this is Star Gladiator. And I remember when this came out. It's a Capcom fighting game, but it's actually quite unusual. Set in space with kind of like space heroes. You can see that. I just thought, that's an interest. It's quite an early PS1 game, and PS1 that's got very collectible now. As you guys all know, PS1's got a nice manual. It's got a lovely, still got a shine to it. Yeah, Star Gladiator. Moving on. I've got some Mega Drive games. We've had a little bit of Mega Drive in this week. We've got Dynamite Headdy, underrated, by Treasure. You know Treasure. They made Gunstar Heroes. But it's a platformer. It's good fun. It seems to have a very nice condition manual. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's a nice Dynamite Headdy. Treasure game that people don't remember how good it is until they play it, and then they go, oh yeah, it was a good one. It was a good one. Ariel, Little Mermaid. Yeah, a Disney game, but all these games very popular on Mega Drive. All the, you know, Castle of Illusion, Lion King, Aladdin, really good. The Disney games were all pretty good quality, not, you know, better quality than the rushed out Game Boy games we got for licensed. They got a bit sloppy, didn't they, when they're making movie and TV related games. But back then they put some effort in. I'm desperate, just suddenly thinking of 8-bit, you know, Grange Hill the game, EastEnders the game. Thanks, Maxon. Sonic 3, that's the 3rd game in the Sonic series. Just in case you couldn't work it out. Yeah, it's got the manual. VG, I would imagine we've graded that. VG, you can check for yourself. Go to the newly listed page. All this stuff is new this week. And another good thing about the newly listed page is at the top you'll see numbers 1 to 8, and you can go between each number to see what we've listed in the last 8 weeks, as long as it hasn't sold. So all the stuff that we've listed hasn't sold yet. You can actually go week by week and see everything that we've listed, and generally we list 200 to 400 items on the site per week. What an amazing life I have with all these games. I know. Okay, let's go. Let's carry on. What have we got in the box? What? I didn't say that.
What's in the box?
This is a very unusual game, and I've put a big price on it. This is called Cosmic Bounce. Now, Cosmic Bounce is a clamcase game by Cable Software for the Commodore 64. And we have never had this in stock before. I didn't know it existed. It's got, look at the very plain. I just thought, wow. Haven't played it yet. I want to play it. I didn't get to test that one. But looks fun. Looks fun. Let's carry on. Oh, this is something different. A sticker. Yeah, an Afterburner sticker. Let's get a close up of that. This is the Afterburner sticker. It came in the box set of the 8-bit games. It came in the Commodore Spectrum version. Not all of them, but you get the poster, the sticker. It's always missing the sticker, but here you can, now you can buy, it's in our memorabilia section. You can buy just the sticker. And we crazily put a $5 on it for a sticker. Yeah, I know. Oh, all right. Okay, sometimes rare things are expensive. Get over yourselves. Here's a game for you. This is another Commodore 64 one. This is called Tribble Trouble. Now, Tribble Trouble, very cheeky, based on Star Trek, isn't it? Because the Tribbles episode, everyone knows the original Tribble. Those little fluffy guys are all over the place. Funny enough, he doesn't look like a Tribble. He looks like a jelly monster. Maybe that's to do with copyright. They didn't want to get in too much trouble. Tribble Trouble. So they just made him jelly. I don't know why they did that, but it's still a really rare game for Commodore 64. What we got now? Oh, this is another rare game. I like the look of. It's called Arcade Games by Clemo's Software. Clemo's Software, I'm not making that up. It's a compilation for the BBC Model B. It has got 3 games on there, and I like the spelling of them. Cosmoids, Bug Vaders, the Space Invaders, you, and Bogey Men. One word, i.e. men. Doesn't that look weird? It does, doesn't it? B-O-G-E-Y men, I would have thought. It's got a nice... It's just one of those super obscure games that we luckily find from time to time, and you think, what the heck is that? And that's my favourite part of retro gaming, when you find something you've never seen before and you go, what the heck is that? Right, let's go. More Commodore 64. Now this is a very, very nice game. Mr. Robot and his Robot Factory on the Beyond label, and it comes in a lovely card slipcase, but I've got to admit to you guys, let's pull it out. It's got like, oh, it's a bit tight. So it's got like the instructions and stuff are on that. But the slipcase is very worn, and someone has handwritten it's real, isn't it? Isn't this real? Mr. Robot on the side where it's got all worn out. Which is a shame, but it's very rare to find this game in the slipcase anyway, so at least it's got it. We like that. Right, let's carry on. We are going to talk about one of my favourite Spectrum companies. And I do love the ZX Spectrum, if you didn't know. And that is this game from CRL. CRL, Computer Rentals Limited. That's what it stands for. I know this stuff. What a strange name for a company. Computer Rentals Limited. Were they renting computers out? Is that how they started renting Spectrums? I've always wondered. I'm sure one of you guys knows. Anyway, Warlock's Treasure, very rare Spectrum game. There's a little bit of glue residue there, or not just sun fade. I don't know. And the other side has also got just a. It's not that it's actually damaged. You can just see that the ink is kind of worn off underneath. But the title's there. It's just the year 1983. What a year that was! There's a lot of you weren't even born, probably. Oh, embarrassing for me. Another rare Spectrum, on Spectrum now. Anirog, very highly collectible label, Anirog. And this is Galactic Abductor. And I've seen this on VIC-20, but I'd never seen this on the Spectrum before. Yes, on the Spectrum. Amazing. I love it. 1983 early Spectrum game that we've never had in stock before. In 27 years, this has never been in stock until this week. And we've only got one. You do the math. Okay, let's carry on. Another super rare game, and I've wanted this game for ages, and we've never had it in stock, and that is called Mega Fruit. Mega Fruit, I'll show you that. Now, this is on the Thor label. Now, Thor is a very exciting label because they became Odin, who made Nodes of Yesod, Ark of Yesod, Robin of the Wood, all those iCups, Highland. Really highly rated, one of the top Spectrum games companies. But their early games, Jack and the Beanstalk, House That Jack Built, very, very common. But then there's a few in the same range which you never ever find, and Mega Fruit is one of them. It's super, super rare, and I only ever put super rare, but I'd like to start putting super, super rare, but I think everyone will get really cross. So I can't start putting super, super rare in the descriptions. We just gave it to one super. Hyper rare, I know what you're thinking, hyper rare, that's a good idea. No, we can't go hyper rare because I'd have to go back and change all the super rares to hyper rares, or there's more super, super rares to hyper rares, and that's going to get a bit messy. So yeah, a nice, lovely, super rare game from Thor Games. Okay, Spectrum. Now I've got some interesting stuff. This is some Microgen stuff. And there's another classic Spectrum label. And the first one I'm going to show you is Laser Warp. Laser Warp. A little bit of spit came out there when I said warp, and it landed on the table. That's gross, isn't it? You're not going to want to buy any of this. I do not spit on the games, I promise. No spit. This is Laser Warp. And the reason this is interesting is we've got it in, but we've got 2 different covers, and this cover is really unusual. The design of Microgen, again another super popular games company to collect. They started right at the beginning, really early, and their games, I think it's the artwork, and they're from Bracknell, I remember driving past when I was a kid. We was driving to Windsor and we drove past in my dad's car the Microgen offices with a big Microgen sign outside, and I was so excited. Ah, Mum, Microgen. They're just saying, shut up, I'm trying to drive. You know. Still, it's in the memory. It's in the memory bank. I was excited in 1984 when we drove past the Microgen depot. Let's call it a depot. There's another Microgen classic, and this is Defender. Now look at this game, Defender, and look how they spelt this to get around the copyright issues. It's just insane. DEFFENDAR. It's funny. Sometimes when you get these weirdly spelt games, you get different spelling on the inlay to the cassette. This one is consistent, but it's always worth noting, and there's always a bit of a laugh. Arctic do this a lot, where they've spelt it different on the cover to on the cassette. And it's like, we put the cassette into production with the dodgy name, and then we thought, oh no, better not do that, quickly make a different inlay, call it something else. Emergency, I'd say. Emergency, we've gone too far. Star Trek. Yeah, loads of Star Trek games. Unofficial Star Trek games on Spectrum. Now, this is something really, really special. This is Mines of Saturn and Return to Earth. A double game set by Saturn Developments Limited. Now, if you're an expert on Microgen, you will know that, that Saturn Developments is the company that Microgen was born from. And you can see their credit on some of the early Microgen releases. You can see it on Mad Martha, Mad Martha 2. It says Saturn Developments along the bottom edge. Though Mad Martha is a game that has about 15 sleeve variations, so it depends what one you've got. But yeah, you can see, look at this. I mean, this is totally original. This is ancient, 1982. It is the first Microgen game. We listed it in the Microgen section. It's just incredible to have. It's a real piece of history. And there you go. I was excited about that one. Right, what's left in the box? Not much more to go. Just a couple of bits of hardware. That was it. I don't want to go too far. I want to keep these relatively brief, but just give you a flavour of the new additions on the site. And I've just got a couple of computers. A couple of nice computers came in this week. And this, of course, is a ZX Spectrum in the box. It's got a lovely shiny gloss to it. Let me just hold it so the front camera can see me looking like a like a dolly bird. That's what they used to call them in the 70s. What the hell am I on about? I don't know. Dolly bird. That makes me think of Bruce Forsyth and Ted Rogers, doesn't it? Yeah, there's the back of the box. But this was very nice. It's a very nice one. And I was a bit disappointed because I've looked at it on the site and the photos don't do it justice, because the close-ups, the dust gets caught. Let's have a look. Oh, he's opened it upside down. What a professional. We've got the lid, and there we go. Here it is. It is a beautiful Spectrum, and the dust got picked. It is not marked. This is very nice. Let's just show you there. This is one hell of a lovely Spectrum. We have got a better one in stock at the moment. A real mint one, which is just, it's insane. The box is like it's just come out of a factory. But this is definitely the second best one we've got on the site. And you can see it's got all the gubbins. It's got all the gubbins, and they're really nice. Look, the manual's in great shape. This manual. So, oh, and there you've got your horizons, and you've got your yeah, great. It's a Spectrum. It's the king of all computers. Yes, still the king. And I love the little. It's got a little notch. We all know about these. This is the little polystyrene notch that fits in the gap and locks the lid on before you slide it in the box. Yeah, I always love it when a Spectrum comes into stock, and I love this Spectrum. Right, relatively small. I actually put it back in the box live. There we go. 48K Spectrum. Now, the last thing I've got to show you guys is another computer. It's in this box, and it's a popular one. It is ZX Spectrum 128K. Let's get it out of the box. The toast rack. That's what they call it. The toast rack. And the reason why they call this thing a toast rack is because you could stand toast up in the heatsink on the side. But this is the last proper official Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Not Amstrad, Sinclair. This was the last one. They made the Spectrum Plus, then they made the Spectrum 128K. And this is the enhanced memory. It does all the things really that a Plus 2 does, but it's Sinclair. It's not Amstrad, it's not retooled, it's not remade, it is proper Sinclair. Thanks, Clive. You gave us one wonderful computer. And there's lots of advantages of the old 128K. One of the big ones, it obviously plays 128K games. The sound comes out of the TV, you know. I know that sounds like, who cares? But that's a big thing for Spectrum owners who had the little buzzy speaker in their rubber keyed and Plus computers. To actually come out of the TV was a big thing. You could actually control the volume of your games, which was pretty special. It had a keypad. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen the keypad. It's like a number pad, I think, that plugged in that slot there. It's got an RS-232 as well. Like connection. I don't know if I've ever seen anything that plugs into the RS-232 socket, which is pretty crazy. Here a mic on the side. Another big thing that this had that other ones is a reset switch. Yes, there is a reset. Same as the Spectrum Plus, to be honest. Is it? Yeah. And then on the back there, it's got an RGB socket, and the cables are buyable. You can buy. I mean, this one only comes with an RF cable, but you can play this digitally through an RGB cable, and they are available brand new. You'll pick them up on Amazon and eBay. But what a wonderful thing. What a wonderful original Sinclair Spectrum. All the keys tested. We do quite lengthy bench tests of all our computers and consoles that we list on the site. And I can tell you for a fact, this was left on for 2 hours. Nice solid display for 2 hours running. We like to give it an extra test, especially the things we love looking at. No, we test all computers and consoles the same way, but we test all the keys, we test the outputs, we test the colours, we test everything we can test, we test. And then we're very disappointed if something doesn't work. And with Spectrum Plus lately is loads of issues with keyboards. Keyboard membranes, I don't know what happened to them. I think where they connect into the circuit board, they get crinkly as age goes, and they just get more crispy, and then they just fracture. And a little fracture on one of those keyboard membranes stops the keyboard working. So it's very important to test every single key. We have had Spectrums in where every single key except one has worked, and I didn't even think that was possible, because I thought if one of the lines is cracked, you're going to lose a batch of keys, a bunch of keys, a line, or But no, we had one with one key that didn't work. I don't know. I can't work it. Anyway, this was our first What's in Store this week video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me comments if you wanted to do more of this. And then just rush www.retrogames.co.uk. Check out the newly listed page and you'll find all this stuff on there, along with all the rest that we've listed this week. It's the best place in the world to buy old video games. I said it, it's fact. Till laters. Bye, Retro Gamers.
Retrogames says thank you for watching. Retrogames says thank you.